So what's up, guys? Gonna take a little break from my normal commentaries just to do, just an overview of some changes that I'd like to see in the game. Some things that are done really well, and some things that uh, need need some attention for sure. So the first thing I want to touch on is the jumping. Actually, a couple patches ago, they had made it so you had gained vertical momentum. If you were running up a slope and jumped, you jumped higher. And I actually like this change a lot, considering I don't play light assault. I know some light assaults didn't like the change because they thought that it gave, uh, the regular combatant the same type of maneuverability, but in reality, it wasn't even close to the jetpack. But it was really nice, and it wasn't nice just to get to places that you weren't supposed to go. That's not what the majority of people used it for. The majority of people used it just to, you know, traverse the terrain easier. So that's something that I would love to see put back in. Maybe not as extreme as it was before. You could cut it down, but there are numerous times, even in this video that you're watching right now, where it would be helpful, and not to gain an advantage, just to get from point A to point B a little bit faster, or with a little less frustration. There's actually a point coming up in here where I'm just trying to jump on a rock that it looks like, for all intents and purposes, I should be able to jump up no problem, and I can't. So that's something that I would love to see come back in some form or another. The next thing I want to see changed, and I want to try to keep these these criticisms not class based at all. These are just general things that affect everyone. So I think it'll be, the reception will be a little bit better than if I was picking on a class or two. So the next thing I want to see changed is the the collision on feet. And I don't know when they put this in, because it only seems to have started to happen to me recently. Maybe it's just they increased the hitbox of enemies' feet, but it is so annoying when you're trying to run through a doorway. You have to jump over bodies because somebody has died in that doorway. Like, I don't know what they were thinking when they put this in. It is one of the worst additions to the game thus far. It makes no sense at all. If you're going to put collision in, either put the whole character model in, or don't put any in. And sure as shit, don't put any collision on a dead fucking body. So that's something I think we can all agree on. It needs to be just take it out. Just take it out, please. For the love of God, just take it out. See, I die right here to it. I'm stuck on the dude's feet. That's why the guy kills me. I'm stuck on this dead body's feet. And, like, look at that foot trap. No one's walking through that. That's like a foot tank trap. That's how deadly that thing is. So yeah, please get rid of that. I would be eternally grateful if I've never have to see that ever again. But so the next thing I want to talk about is balance, and more specifically, how things seem to be taking a long time to get balanced in the game. There has been a few issues and problems that have just taken way too long. And I know the game is new, but certain things are just, they just scream out unbalanced. I know the NC Scat Max when it came out was just unbelievably unbalanced. And I thought it was really good when I was playing VS. I didn't understand exactly how good it was until I started playing NC. And, it was, I actually named my loadout like God Mode Activate or something like that, because you really do, you feel unstoppable before the patch. It was hilarious. But, that took a long time to balance. And I've noticed that there are a couple other things in the game. I'm not really going to go into specifics, but there are a couple other things that are unbalanced and that need some tuning, and that have been there from the beginning. And some things have actually increased. They've actually increased in the discrepancy on where it should be and where it is. So it's something that I really hope that they take a look at. I really think they need to do more tuning passes. I think a tuning pass of every weapon and every class has to be done. The weapons, they had their numbers when they came out. Some of them work and some of them don't, and they need to be adjusted. The SMGs, one of the later additions to the game, the first batch of SMGs is so monstrously underpowered compared to the second batch. No one in their right mind would use the first batch over the second batch. It's just so much better. The second batch are just so much better in pretty much every aspect. So I mean, that's something that needs to be looked at, and not just the SMGs, but all of the weapons at this point. So the next couple things are just some quality of life stuff. I know one of the posts on Reddit recently was about ammo centers showing up on the map. I think that was a really good idea. I think that both engineers and medics on your team for friendlies on your mini map should have a unique icon. There has been a ton of times, where you're just running around, and at night it's hard to distinguish what kind of, who's playing which class. So, just put an icon on the mini map. There's a medic over here. Well, you can run to him to go get some health. And a lot of games have done this. I'm surprised it hasn't made it into the game yet. But I know you do get the ammo packs that show up on the ground, but you don't get the engineers. And I think having the engineers, is just to have the engineers as a little ammo sign, and have the medics as a little plus sign, and then you can keep the ammo packs as a big ammo sign. And, it seems like a pretty obvious change that doesn't impact gameplay at all. It just makes our lives a lot easier. And they even have the medic sign on the macro map when you hit M and bring up the map. Like, they even have a medic sign on there. So I just put it on the mini map too. I don't get it. So I think that's something that would be very easy to implement, that they could throw in, that would help us all. And the last thing I want to touch on before I end the video, it's a controversial topic. I have a pretty strong opinion on it, and that's one-sided spawn shields. I think that they need to be taken out of the game. It was like a little crutch that they added in because they had poor spawn mechanics, and the spawn bases were not properly designed, and people think that they help with spawn camping. They help that you don't get spawn camped. But in reality, it's the exact opposite. One-way shields promote spawn camping for a very simple reason, and a very obvious reason is that when you can shoot out of a one-way shield, you're going to. So that's where you're going to be. If you don't have anyone in the spawn because they know they can't just sit in there and shoot out of it and get kills, you're not going to have anyone camp at spawn because there's nobody there to kill. Whereas you have these one-way shields, and you have people taking advantage of them all the time, even when it's not needed. When your base is starting to get taken over, you get 20, 30 people sometimes in these little bases, even though no one's camping them. They're just sitting in there, just trying to shoot out and trying to get some kills. They need to be removed. Or at least, the one thing that would be a problem if you removed them is that, you could have people just throw in some explosive outside the spawn, but most of them are two-tiered now, so you can just go up top and shoot the explosives, or you can go up top, or just make the pain fields larger. I know the pain fields are a little buggy right now, but I mean, that shouldn't be an excuse on, oh, we can't implement it because we can't get the pain fields right. And they've really been a problem since beta, and I know a lot of people have commented on them, that they didn't like them, and they have. I mean, they're still here. I don't get it. They need to be taken out. All they do is promote poor play. In fact, that's like the one thing that they do promote. They promote poor play. They don't promote anything else. They're not helping you not get spawn camped. They're helping you get spawn camped. That's their problem. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are still some minor issues that you would have, but nothing compared to what you have right now. And as much as people don't think that, oh, you're dumbing the game down, or you're just showing people, your hand holding. Well, hand holding needs to happen in this game. And if you've played this game for any length of time, there is a large percentage of players that need hand holding. They need to know where to go. They need to be told what to do. And they're not necessarily skillfully bad. They just don't have the situational awareness that experienced players do. And that's very important in a game. And I was watching this one review about some other free-to-play FPS or third-person shooter, and one of the comments is when you go into that game, the game teaches you how to play right away. The game teaches you how to play, which is very important. The game should teach you how to play, especially if you're new to it. And I think the new player experience in this game is pretty poor. It has been for a while, but they need to do things. They need to introduce mechanics in the game that promote good play, promote you to do things well, promote you to, heal your teammates, promote you to repair your maxes. And there's got to be a level of hand-holding in these cases. And, it's something that Planetside 2 could do a lot better in. But that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys liked my my 9-minute rant here, but tell me what you think of it. Tell me if you agree with my ideas. Shoot me a comment. Always remember to subscribe and like if you like the video, and you guys have a fantastic day.